Welcome into the Top 40 Timeline video show, and Lee Lakin is currently playing music, isn't he, live? So
he got an extra weekend.
Yeah.
Last week was supposed to be the last week, but because of the weather, we're sitting here with windows open and sweating. Yeah. So in Ontario, it's
This is Big Daddy, all over the radio, all over the social media, like I am every day, and we're here on our video channel, Halton Hills Online. What is it? Halton Hills, that's what it's called, right? Radio.
This is air radio, actually.
No, but I'm saying we're available on that channel on YouTube.
Yeah, okay.
But, all the shows
They're all there. All our vlogs are there.
On our very own YouTube channel. And it's nice. What do you do, Mr. Horton? Oh, I own a YouTube channel. Oh, very nice. Very nice. We'd like to say hello to Kenny Tosh and the gang. This show is brought to you by the new Kenny Tosh Show coming to Radio GTA. The first week of November, after we turn the clocks back, the first Monday.
November 5th is
Kenny Tosh and his characters will be broadcasting live for 2 hours every morning from Belfast, Northern Ireland. There you go.
Wonderful.
And we're
Can't wait to hear it.
And he's going to be on another station in the UK. And we'll have more information next week as we come up to the show. We'll do another show for him. But we'd like to say hello to Kenny Tosh because I've got him linked up there. Are you all sweating, baby, or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Glad I went and changed before I came today. I was in a sweatshirt. Oh, good Lord, I'll sweat all right.
So we're brought to you by Radio GTA and the new morning show coming up, Kenny Tosh. And some great interaction with Kenny. He's one of the best in the world at having social media reaction. He's got threads going all the time on Facebook.
I've seen them.
When he's on the air.
And
that's the way radio is now. Personality radio is going. Is where you have live shows like that, is include everybody in what you're doing. Oh, that's a great song. By the way, Kenny, did you know this, and this? And they get right in and you read through all this stuff and you learn a lot about music. I'll tell you that. And it's a great way to...
that's why I do what I do for us.
That's exactly,
Find
and it's
out
a great
things,
way.
But most people had no idea.
Yeah.
Unless they follow those bands or they're interested in that type of thing.
Yeah.
And that's a higher percentage that don't.
So we're looking forward to our own little leprechaun, our own little box of Lucky Charms. That's Kenny Tosh coming to Radio GTA. Every morning weekdays. And I'll be there too. I'll be on from he'll be on from 7 a.m. to 9, and then I'll be on from 9 to noon. So there you go. And then we have, of course, Magic Matt Craig. I've got a dry mouth. I don't know why.
Worst thing to drink is coffee. It's a dehydrator, not a rehydrator.
Yeah, but it moistens the right places at the right time. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. Let's get into this stuff. And here's something that I got in shit for because I read it before. See, the game we play is Lee and I are not allowed to read the scripts before we go on the air because, Leah wants our reaction from this is stuff dug up in the yard, right?
Did you do that?
What?
Am I that asleep today? Did you do the chimes already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember, I did it very slowly. You liked it.
I've had a long few days.
The Spice Girls song, Spice Up Your Life, is apparently a recipe for cooking meth.
Did you know that?
The lyrics, slam it to the left if you're having a good time, shake it to the right if you know that you feel fine, are instructions on what to do when the crystals are cooking, apparently. And don't believe it? Well, the song was even used in the TV show Breaking Bad. So
I had no idea because I've never cooked meth. So it's interesting. So that's what you do when you're cooking crystals.
I wouldn't even know the first thing about how to do or anything. I don't ever want to know. Malcolm Young of AC/DC worked in a bra factory as a sewing machine mechanic. There you go. And you can't make this stuff up, folks. Do you want me to do one more?
Yeah, go ahead.
1961. Dion's Runaround Sue hits #1 for the first of 2 weeks. Dion pulled the name Sue out of thin air, as a matter of fact. But when he later marries a woman named Sue, she tells everyone the song is about her, even though she knows it isn't. 1969, Columbia Records announces its intention to prosecute the purveyors of Great White Way, an unauthorized collection of unreleased Bob Dylan demos that is often considered the first bootleg record. 1978, it was CBS Records jacks up. This Week in History in 1978. CBS Records jacks up an album, the album prices for their big name releases to $8.98.
And I remember that because, as you know, I collected LPs over 2000.
I know.
And I remember when it went up, and it was for like the prime ones that were really big at the time. And I remember looking at that and going, "Are you kidding me?" Whereas now you're looking at $20 or more for some of those.
When I was growing up,
depending double, single, whatever. But
when I was growing up, 1975, 76, you could buy an album for $5.99. Or sometimes $3.98 if they were on sale at Sam the Record Man. Remember Sam's?
Of course.
All those great record stores. God.
Yeah, it was awful when they shut down.
You know who loves record stores is Bob Gilmore. Remember the radio reunion? That's all he does, man, is he goes to record stores.
See, I wonder if he's ever been to the Vinyl Land in Acton.
Oh, he was. That's where he was.
I should have known. He figured that one out.
At the radio reunion.
That is so amazing.
All right, so we'll let you carry on there.
All right. So
1978, isn't it? No, 79. We're going next. The Police.
1979, the Police shoot the video for "Walking on the Moon" in front of a Saturn V rocket at Kennedy Space Center in Florida. So that was not a backdrop. They were actually in front of the rocket.
That was a #1 song in the UK, and it barely charted in the top 40 here. It was an album cut.
It's funny, how in different parts of the world, certain things take off, and in other spaces, not till later or not at all.
That's the wonderful part of online radio now is professionals in North America can deal with professionals in the UK, and they can share shows, and we can get to learn what was big in the British charts. You know, some of these songs you've never heard before. Yeah. And it's a great learning experience, you know, and vice versa when it's the other way around as well, because the North American charts and the British charts are totally different species, totally different.
Okay, so 1998, the White Rabbit ease comes to close when a court supports the superintendent at Fort Zumwalt High School in St. Louis and his decision that the marching band cannot play the song in their act as it contains drug references.
White Rabbit, wow.
Well, it's Jefferson Airplane.
Yeah, I know.
Starship at that time? Starship, I think. 1990. It would have been Starship.
White Rabbit was 1968, 69, the late 60s.
Well, no, but when this happened, though.
Yeah, it was 98.
They were then gone from Jefferson Airplane to Jefferson Starship.
Oh, correct? Yeah. They were Starship by that time.
Well, that was what happened. So 2001, compact music is a thing. Apple introduces the iPod, an MP3 player that can hold about 1,000 songs, making digital music portable. Most users fill their devices with songs ripped from their CD collections or downloaded from the file sharing sites like Napster. Guilty as charged.
Remember how
I was right into that. You kidding me? If I can get songs without getting, because there were some bands I liked just singles. I wasn't big on.
Remember how long it used to take to download one song?
Don't even go there.
Man, it'll be downloaded in the morning. You know?
No, I do. I totally remember. Why don't you do this one?
The Goo Goo Dolls, first name were the Sex Maggots before.
No. What are you doing?
Because that doesn't make any sense up there.
Okay.
That one there.
Hang on. Okay, guys. Sorry. And I haven't got my glasses on. I think I got to start working. Yes, Yes, it does. It's right at the beginning. Just do it.
Well, he didn't exactly do it, but David still thought about it enough to inspire him to pen the lyrics of one of the rock's most well-known tunes. So as Van Halen vocalist himself described it, the inspiration for Jump dropped as he was watching news on TV showing a group of people trying to convince a man not to jump off of a building. Okay, my apologies. It's just the way that started, and the fact that we were running into each other before. Anyway, but in Ross' opinion, the guy should have done the opposite. There was a fellow standing on top of the Arco Towers in Los Angeles, and he was about to check out early. He was going to do the 33 stories drop, and there was a whole crowd of people in the parking lot downstairs yelling, "Don't jump, don't jump." And I thought to myself, "Jump," he explained. So that is how Jump was created. I had no idea.
Leave it to David Lee Roth. He's like, "No, jump, go, jump."
Jump.
Oh my God. I mean, it's not funny, but I mean, in retrospect, it's not funny, but
Kind of twists the whole meaning of the song around.
it's all
doesn't it?
twisted, period.
And the Goo Goo Dolls, I'll get to this story now. The first name were the Sex Maggots. Before the Goo Goo Dolls became ubiquitous with swelling 90s love ballads, the band just wanted to have a little more sex appeal.
Can you imagine the Sex Maggots? How is that sexy?
That is not sexy. That is not sexy. I'll do one more.
Okay.
1964, the TAMI show. That's the Teenage Music International Show. And the concert is held in Santa Barbara, California, featuring Chuck Berry, the Supremes, the Beach Boys, James Brown, Marvin Gaye, the Rolling Stones, the Miracles, Jan and Dean, Leslie Gore, Jerry and the Pacemakers. The concert is released as a movie later in 1964. And that was an incredible movie and an incredible concert.
I haven't seen it, so I can't comment.
I mean, look at that. That is the Woodstock of pop.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Teenage concert.
That's right.
1968 that was, I think.
That's right.
Pretty crazy. 1978, the movie version of The Wiz, which debuted as a Broadway stage production in 1975, it hits theaters. The all-black cast includes Diana Ross as Dorothy and Michael Jackson as the Scarecrow. The film marks Jackson's acting debut.
The first time he ever acted on TV.
Yep, that was the first.
Or on the movie, anyway.
His first go. 2004, Queen became the first rock act to receive an official seal of approval in Iran.
Oh.
But that's his history. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, he's from Iran, yeah.
Western music was still strictly censored in the Islamic Republic, where homosexuality is considered a crime. But an album of Queen's greatest hits was released this week in Iran. Freddie Mercury was proud of his Iranian ancestry, and illegal bootleg albums and singles had made Queen one of the most popular bands in Iran. Because they, of course, back then, and actually even going forward, a lot of this music was underground.
Yeah.
And was played out. So the bootlegs, of course, worked for that because they're not legally put out in the stores. So that was kind of cool. I'll do the last one. 2023, Britney Spears publishes her memoir, The Woman in Me, revealing that she was once pregnant with Justin Timberlake's baby, but did not have the child.
Oh, isn't that something? That just happened a few days ago, didn't it? 2023.
Wow. Actually, yeah, it says 2023, but I don't... Oh no, the book is published. It didn't happen with Justin then. That was way back when.
No, but
dated.
The book.
Sorry, I misunderstood.
So I wonder how big of a fan Justin is of Britney Spears. Makes you wonder.
Well, he's married now. He probably.
This is a wee tidbit. Look at the size of that. Is that all one story?
I told you I'm changing things up. Yes, go.
It's hard to believe that a chap as good-looking and talented as Rick Springfield, I'm often compared to him in the mall, by the way, would have trouble in the romance department, but as evidenced by this catchy pop rocker, there was one specific lady who proved to be out of reach. And wouldn't you know it, that it's in his music videos. The lad who plays Jesse is none other than actor Steve Anton, who would play a very similar role in one of the best 80s teen comedy drama films, The Last American Virgin, as the cold-hearted character Rick. Well, Rick Springfield was quoted, "I had the guitar riff and wrote the verses, but I had the other song that I was pretty sure I wouldn't finish. And I liked the B verse of it, and it fit into the JG verse I already had. I wanted the song to build up to the chorus, but I only had a TAC 4-track home recording device." I used to have one of those.
My ex-boyfriend and I had an 8-track
TAC.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun with that. Oh my God, I'm old. A crappy pawn shop bass guitar and cushions for drums. The instrumental side was a little sparse, which made me come up with the stripped-down verses and the all-in choruses. I liked the song, but thought it was a good album cut, not necessarily a single. The video was a blast. I didn't really know why they gave us $1,500 to shoot it, because there was no MTV at the time. We filmed it. And I wrote up and drew up the storyboard, and then we shot it over 3 days using back alleys and found places that we filmed in till the neighbors complained and the cops arrived. Then we'd all throw our gear into the van and skedaddle, guerrilla filming for sure. So that was the song Jessie.
by
Wow.
Red Springfield.
Jesse, that was one of his.
$1,500 budget to do that.
Can you imagine? That was
And
a
then
huge-
he got nail cops, neighbors, run.
Wow.
I thought that was an interesting when I read that. I thought, that's kind of cool. I bet a lot
is.
of people don't know that one.
Do you want to do this one, or do you want me to do it?
Yeah, I'll do a couple. 1961, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, who haven't seen each other since primary school, run into each other at the Dartford train station in England. Keith is on his way to Side Up Art College.
Sidcup Art College.
Oh, sorry, I don't need my glasses. Sidcup, I gotta start wearing them. Sidcup, excuse me, Art College. Mick is headed to the London School of Economics. Noticing the Muddy Waters and Chuck Berry albums Mick is carrying, Keith strikes up a conversation. They later formed the Rolling Stones.
So isn't it funny how things get put together in the continuation of time?
Meant to be.
If they hadn't been at the train station at that same time, might they have ever got together?
Who knows? I think it would have been. It was meant to be. I think some way or another, but it was meant to be. 1977, Elton John appears on The Muppet Show, where he performs Crocodile Rock and Goodbye Yellow Brick Road and Don't Go Breaking My Heart. Elton is one of the inspirations for Dr. Teeth of the Muppets house band, The Electric Mayhem. I'll do this one and then you can go on from there. 1992, the Sinead Brigade, a group supporting Sinead O'Connor, who tore up a picture of the Pope on the Saturday Night Live a few weeks earlier, protests outside of St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York, where Cardinal John O'Connor is holding Mass. Wearing masks of O'Connor, they mimic her display by tearing up photos of the Pope.
I remember that.
So do I. It was quite the
dramatic scene.
Yeah.
1993, Time magazine puts Eddie Vedder on the cover with the headline, All the Rage. Both Vedder and Kurt Cobain refused to speak with the magazine for the story, but they run it anyway in an attempt to explain why young people are listening to such angry music. The cover story attempts to deconstruct the new kind of music emanating from Seattle, and Time is a general interest magazine with an older demographic, so they take an erudite tone. Their music is usually guitar-driven with experimental touches, while pop songs are often about love, alternative lyrics, and usually about tougher feelings like despair, lust, and confusion. And, well, of course, big story from 1993 there. And Seattle was really starting to be the center of the music universe at that point in time.
Yeah, it was big. Time really got big on doing the interviews with musicians.
And still an interesting city for music.
Oh, most definitely.
Austin, Texas is probably one of my favorites. Blue Oyster Cult's first band name was Soft White Underbelly, but they were really the soft white underbelly of rock and roll.
Question mark.
Yeah, question mark. The band sure used to think so. The original band members, minus lead singer Eric Bloom, toured with this name in the 60s before enough scathing reviews convinced the group to try another name. And I'll do this quickie here. The Rolling Stones' tongue logo design was inspired by the Indian Hindu goddess Kali Destroyer. I had no idea about that either. You see, this is stuff that you take for granted and you go, but you never really
I always
think
wondered what that tongue was about.
But yeah, like I know it's the Stones. I mean, it's their trademark.
You see what I'm doing? When I see certain things like when
you're getting
Google
reaction from me.
I Google it to see. I've always wondered about that. And
this gal, what would I do without her? And by the way, the radio reunion we had, you did an amazing job on the video, and this gal here, I love her to death. She's like my baby sister, and without her, I don't know how I'd do it. Really.
Well, it's both ways. We do it together, and that's. I mean, and with Mandy and Lee, but you and I kind of spearhead it.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Right. So
you carry on there, Miss Spearhead.
But if you want to know what Kali Destroyer is, go look on the 25th when I put it up. Yeah. There's a photo there of the logo and an image of Kali Destroyer, and you'll see.
Okay.
All right. 1958, the first rock concert in Germany is held in Berlin, and it doesn't go well as agitated youth fight during a performance by Bill Haley and the Comets. By the time police clear the Berlin Sport Palace, Where the concert is held, 5 policemen and 6 audience members are seriously injured. Bill Haley in the comments, 1958. As early as 1958, there was this type of stuff going on.
Well, they were a lot tougher and rougher in Germany in the early 60s than they were in North America.
They still are.
Yeah, they still are.
They still are.
Yeah.
1980. While recording the band's latest album, Paul Kantner of Jefferson Starship is taken to LA's Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where he correctly suspects he's having a brain hemorrhage. His wife initially doesn't believe him, but eventually calls the hospital front desk requesting, "Would you please get an ambulance for this asshole?" He recovered after 2 weeks hospitalization.
Oh my God. Jesus.
Can you imagine your wife calling the hospital? So for whatever reason, I don't know, maybe he was that guy who was a hypochondriac, I don't know.
Maybe.
But for whatever reason, for her to say that, you got to wonder what's going on between
Well,
them.
obviously something. He was in there for 2 weeks.
Oh no, he did. He had a hemorrhage.
Yeah.
It's exactly what happened, but I'm talking about her
Oh,
comment.
yeah. Oh,
right?
yeah. 1993, Michael Jackson is awarded a patent for the system that allows him to lean in unnatural angles during performances of Smooth Criminal. To recreate the video on stage, Michael and his dancers wore special shoes, and they could insert into their pegs set up on stage for the famous icon. That's amazing.
Lean, not famous
That's right,
icon,
yeah.
famous lean.
Oh,
You know
lean.
how he used to lean forward?
Oh, lean. I thought
It's
that
like
said
if
icon.
something was holding him up.
Ah,
Nothing
so
was
that's how he
holding him
did.
up.
So that's how he did that. To recreate the video on stage, Jackson and his dancers wear special shoes they can insert into.
You missed. To get the patent.
Oh, okay. I'm blind as a bat here.
We're both having a bit of a day.
It's a
Sorry,
good job
bear
I'm not
with
a
us.
barber. To get the patent, Jackson's lawyers have to prove that their system improves on previous methods of stage leaning, which is typically accomplished with a cumbersome system of cable and harnesses. Doing it all in the feet is a novel approach. Jackson's patent claims to overcome the deficiencies of the cable system by providing specialized footwear and a movable hitch or post to which the specialized footwear can be detached or detachably engaged to allow the footwear wearer to lean forward on stage with his or her center of gravity while beyond the front of the shoes, thereby creating the desired visual effect. My God.
And there's actually, if you look again at the picture, there's images of how the shoes work, and there's like a diagram, and then there's a picture of him, and he also had some of the other dancers
Well, I often
that
wondered,
also did that as well.
how in the
right?
hell did they do that? I
That's
often
how.
wondered. Wow.
That's how it was done. It was
You want me to
quite-
do
it
one
was-
more?
It was quite cool.
This week in 2000, the tree from U2's song One Tree Hill is taken down. Located in Auckland, New Zealand, the tree had been attacked by activists and had to be removed. Some Maori felt that a pine tree as a non-native plant was inappropriate for a place of such importance to Maori.
It's a tribe.
Stop
in
touching
Australia and
me.
New
Stop
Zealand.
touching me. There was another chainsaw attack in 1999, and 2 years later, the tree was removed as it had become unsafe as a result of the attacks. No tree has been planted to replace it, though. So that's this week in 2000. And more on U2 here for you.
Yep. So
Can you see?
we're almost done. Yeah, I'm just trying to get this down. We're almost done. Early. 2004, Apple introduces the U2 iPod, the first available in color other than white. It's actually black and red, or the red, the wheel that you click on, it was red. It's promoted in a commercial where the band performs the new single Vertigo. This is the first time U2 allowed their music to be used in commercials and the start of a cozy relationship with Apple, which features their music on the iTunes store.
They just played the Big Globe at Vegas, or they were the first band to play there.
Yeah,
16,000 speakers this place has.
Wow.
Can you imagine that?
I didn't know
One
that.
for every,
Wow.
yeah, and 4 acres
Can you imagine?
of screen.
That sounds
you-
like SARS Fest or something,
My
the way they
God,
did it.
can you
Oh my
imagine the
God.
experience that must be for the human being, though? Just laying there, or do you lay there or stand up, or what do you do there? I think
I
you
haven't
sit.
been. Maybe
don't
we
you?
should figure this out and go and see what it is.
I would love to check it out, man. 16,000, that's like one for every person in the audience.
Can't imagine.
Speakers alone. Wow.
Wonder how big the venue is, or how many people
Unreal.
to have that many speakers. I'm gonna do the next one. I've only done one.
Yeah.
You're hogging them today.
Oh, you go ahead.
2018, 50 Cent uses Groupon to buy 200 tickets to an upcoming Ja Rule concert for $15 each, just so the seats will be empty. The rappers have been feuding since the 90s.
Oh my God.
He literally had all the seats empty. He
What
purchased them so he couldn't have any. He didn't have a full audience. It looked bad.
What a classic.
Can you
What a
imagine?
classic way to get your pal there, eh?
I'll do the next one too.
Yeah.
I'll do this one. Earth, Wind, and Fire's first name for the band was the Salty Peppers. Before lead singer Maurice White named his group after astrological elements, Earth, Wind, and Fire, he's a Sagittarius, and if you know about that type of thing with astrology, you'd understand that. He received inspiration from the culinary scene, is how he originally...
Wow.
Yeah.
The Doors were the first band ever to advertise a new album on a billboard. Didn't know that either.
And it's an awesome picture.
Yeah.
Again, you have to look at the actual post.
Yeah, you're right,
but
because I don't remember any other albums.
you have to
being
go
before.
and go on every now and then. When we do these, go in and just look at the photos.
I will. I
And you'll
will.
see some of this stuff.
A little bit of history and trivia for October 27th. This week in history, 1957, police in Oakland, California, informed Elvis Presley that he is not allowed to swivel his hips on stage in tonight's performance at the Oakland Auditorium. Elvis responds by sarcastically wiggling only his little finger while singing. The cops filmed the show anyway, just in case. So there you go.
Good on him. I think that's absolutely fabulous. That he
Elvis
did
was a
that.
bit of a rebel, you know. He wasn't a choir boy. He didn't. He knew how to stick up for himself. 1993, Catholic churches in San Juan, Puerto Rico asked residents to tie black ribbons on trees in protest against Madonna's first live appearance in the country.
They didn't succeed though.
No, I guess
And
not.
the concert
That's
still sold out.
Absolutely absurd. Absolutely insane. 1999, Korn debuted their new song, Falling Away From Me, on the season premiere of South Park. Korn's groovy pirate ghost mystery. The animated version of the band appears in the episode as well. I remember that episode.
Yeah. I got a picture.
Yeah, I've seen it. I love South Park.
I never have time to watch
My
that
kind of
stuff.
humor, you know me.
Yeah, I
Just
do.
Sick, twisted stuff.
2010, former Culture Club vocalist Boy George stunned an audience in London, England after reportedly flying into a rage and tossing his drink on a woman who was talking during his show. Before emptying his glass on her from the stage, George was heard shouting, "Why don't you shut the F up, you rude C?" I won't say that word.
No, don't say that
I
one.
can't. I've never said it in my life, and I'm not starting tonight.
Yeah, but
See
you know
next
what?
Tuesday if people don't know what the C is.
But you know what? I mean, I can imagine. You know, I mean, he's an entertainer. He's trying to sing a song, and
you still don't do that. I'm
well,
sorry.
I don't think I'd ever say that, but I'd say the other word, no problem. I'd let the person know that, hey, this is, you know, I'm doing this out here. You know, how dare you? Yeah, pissed me off. I'm trying to do my job, and you're talking. You
Well,
know?
and I don't think he was in a big venue, and that was the problem. I think.
I've never heard anything.
Barbara Streisand can say "f you" to somebody on the stage.
Sure.
It's just that whole sentence. Was
I know, but you know what, Boy
little
George.
much.
Boy George is a good guy too.
He
He's
is.
he's
No,
done a lot of
I'm
stuff
not saying he's
for,
not. I just think that was a
And
little crude. But
you know, there was no. I'll tell you, being in top 40 radio back in the '80s, man, there was nothing bigger than him.
oh, I believe it.
I mean,
I know.
you know, if he was, you know, the request lines. Can you play Karma Chameleon? Can you play? Do you really want to hurt me? Can you
No,
play
I know.
all these songs? They were huge.
I
man.
know. I just like I
Huge.
said. I think it should have been toned down just a touch.
Yeah.
2015, Twitter discontinues Vine, the short-form video hosting service that launched the music careers of Shawn Mendes and Lost Boy singer Ruth B. For the time being, Vine users still use the mobile app and website to view download content, but they are no longer able to upload the videos.
Yeah. So that's it. Yeah, we're all
That's all
done
of it.
for our music trivia this week. But we'd like to remind you to tune in our radio stations as well. Radio GTA is welcoming Kenny Tosh to our stable. He'll be on 7 a.m. Eastern Time until 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. And it'll be live from Belfast, and it's also being taken by a UK station at the same time. So Kenny is probably the first Canadian British morning person be on the air. Well, I guess it's noon in the UK when he goes on there.
Looking forward to
but
it.
It's 7 a.m. here, and we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, 7.
And,
yeah, so that's it'll be noon. Yeah.
Speaking about Kenny Tosh, he is the one that sent me. We do another show called The Big 20, which you know about, which we talk about, and we play all the freshest new music from rock, pop, country, dance,
everything. It's
alternative,
all genres.
for 2 hours every week. And he sent me a song from Van Morrison's new album that we included on the show this week, where Van Morrison is covering Problems, the old Everly Brothers song. Remember Problems? Does a wonderful job. And for 80-something,
excuse me,
80-something years old, Van Morrison is an icon.
Oh, some
to
of
this
these
day.
musicians that are and David Wright Smith, I have to just say that he does see some of these ones that we do. Thank you so much for the information and the history and trivia he puts up, because he puts up some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, he does.
He just put a post up recently, and I can't think of the names, I'm too tired, of 3 artists that are still, Bill Wyman, anyways,
So you're
you
trying
don't have time to think about it, but there was 3 artists that are still doing a lot of work, and I think they're all in their 80s. So it's amazing to see some of these musicians carrying on, because they're getting to that age. It hasn't stopped them. They keep going, and it's amazing.
And I mean, hats off to even people in their what Bruce is in his 70s. Bruce Springsteen now, isn't he? And he just put an album out.
I think so.
He put an album out last year. I know that, but these guys are pushing. I think he's pushing. He's got to be in his 70s. He's not in his 60s.
Well, I thought he was in his late 60s.
Maybe,
maybe.
maybe.
I don't think he's that much. Well, I don't know. He could be. You could be right.
But he's still pushing stuff out. And not only, I mean, you think about these musicians that were big musicians, and sometimes they find another passion, like Ken Tobias, who's a friend of mine and also a Canadian music icon. He's a painter now. He paints, and he does,
such a relaxing, creative way.
If you're creative in music, you will probably be creative in.
But that's
in other
the
areas
art.
as well.
I always put musicians and artists and that type. I put them into a category of art therapy.
Yeah. But his pictures are breathtaking. I mean, his paintings.
I haven't seen them, but yeah.
But I'll link you up to it. But he's well known now for his paintings as well as being a Canadian music guy. He gets a lot of top 40 hits in Canada. Still living the quiet life in St. John, New Brunswick. So,
beautiful.
Living the good life. But that's good. Big listener to FM108.ca, by the way. He listens to us all the time. Yeah. We're at 33 minutes past the hour, by the way, if you're looking at your clock. I'm wondering how long you've been watching to us for. So we got a couple of minutes left. Anything you want to add on anything else? Or
I don't think so. I mean, I have fun doing this. I have fun. I have fun locating the information. As I said, it's not like it's any one page. There's certain things come and I go, I wonder about that. Yeah. And I start Googling. So it can take me 2 to 3 hours to do this.
Oh, yeah.
But I find out so much. It's questions that I've asked about some of it, not everything, because there are pages I go to.
Well, that song "Spice Up Your Life." When the Spice Girls.
I remember playing the Spice Girls and meth.
When I first played that on the air, I never would have thought it was a song about cooking meth. You know what I mean? And I never would have guessed Malcolm Young worked in a bra factory as a sewing machine mechanic.
But the girls are spicy, so there you go.
Yeah. But the stuff that we teach the world every day. You know what I mean? All right, we're going to head on out of here. Thank you for joining us. Are we supposed to say anything at the end of this?
What are we supposed to say? If you watch this regularly, please help me. Please, please, I'm asking. We've been doing this 4 years. And I still have to work with him. Community. Hello. Uniting community.
I have no idea.
Oh, it's like 5 words. Uniting community worldwide. Actually, it's 3 words.
There we go.
Oh my God.
I love tormenting this woman. Assume the
We're
position.
just like brother and sister. The real battle begins when it shuts off.
That's right.
Just kidding.
Assume the position. I'm sorry.
I said brother and sister.
That's disgusting. Never mind. Assume the position.